Johnson, and we are here for a very special evening. Welcome to Marietta College eSports. I do apologize for the very abrupt opening here. Usually we would try to have something start up right away, but what happened was that the other team was missing a person, and they were saying that about 20 minutes or so before they'd be ready, so I was going to get the stream started up, getting some music going, get everyone prepped up and hyped for this match. And then we just found out a couple of minutes ago that, oh, they're here, they're ready to go. So we're just going to give a really brief introduction of what's going on here, and then we are going to get into the match. So this is part of the Tespa Overwatch Collegiate Championship series. So today our Overwatch team will be playing up against 3 different matches. So our first one will be Central Washington, and then just to let you know that the maps that we'll be playing, if I pull up the schedule here, give me 1 second to make sure. So our matches or games for this first match will be on Hollywood, Ilios, and then Rialto. This is a best of 3 series, so if we win, whoever wins 2 of the 3 matches will win the whole thing. So just give me 1 second here as we get a few things here set up, and then we will be good to go. Okay, so let me let the teams know that we are ready to get this started. As we're waiting to get things up and running, we'll go ahead and give you the starting lineup. A couple little changes from last week. We've had some people who won't be able to participate this time around, but we were able to get a couple of people to help us out. So we do have our starting lineup here for Chucks, Brimstone, I Am Nobody, E. Scott, Fizzwiz Inc., and Smorgy Guy. So we do want to thank a couple people for being able to get in here for the last minute as our subs to help with that. So as soon as we get the match up and running, we will have that to you. I have notified them that we're good on our parts. Now we're just waiting for everyone else to say that they're ready. They are entering the game.
Welcome to Hollywood.
So here we are, game 1. Let me make one more change here. I do apologize since Marietta is going to be in the red side for this game. Let's go ahead and swap everyone out here. Let me take care of that real quick for you. My apologies. Let's do... We'll do that, and we'll do this.
Ready for battle.
There we go. That looks much better.
Attackers incoming in 30 seconds.
It is not my preference to see matters personally.
So this is on Hollywood, and we do see that Marietta will be on the offense for the first round. And it does appear both sides will be going with the standard GOATS comp. That is still a very powerful composition in competitive matches. So this should not be too surprising. So we'll see if the Pioneers can take that point and be able to get the payload. We do see the Pioneers trying to take the rooftop to be able to see if they can burn people down. And it looks like Central Washington is trying to come up there to say hello. And we already see 4 down for the Pioneers. So Central Washington is holding up pretty well here. So they make for the push to see if they can get a dent into their defenses this time. So let's see what happens here. We do see they're contesting pretty well. Health bars are getting low, and we do see the Zenyatta ult coming out. And we do see the Coalescence coming out for the Pioneers to see if that gets anyone. And the Pharah ult takes down quite a few, takes down most of Central Washington. So the Pioneers should be able to capture the point and get the payload. And we see the Shatter coming out from Reinhardt to help delay the getting the point here. And that does give Central Washington a chance to come back. Now the Pioneers did already capture 2/3 of the point, so they at least have that locked in. So even though they weren't able to capture the whole thing, they were at least able to make some progress towards capturing it. We still got a minute 50, and we see Central Washington trying to take the offense and getting over to the spawn point to see if they can prevent the Pioneers from getting any farther. But we do see them making the next push here. But it does look like Central Washington has most of their ultimates up, and we do see the Diva ult coming out, and that took out just about everyone from Central Washington. So this should be a secured payload, and they do get it. So a very good ult there by eScott. So now we'll see if they can get the payload over to the first checkpoint. You see the Zenyatta coming out and the Zyra ult. And the Diva ult only catches 1, so there's a really good shield by Reinhardt, by eScott, to be able to minimize the number of deaths with the Diva ult. But Central Washington is still doing a pretty good job of pushing the Pioneers back, taking out 2 of them. We see the rally coming out for Central Washington, and the Coalescence for the Pioneers, and another Shatter comes down. And we see already 3 down for the Pioneers. It doesn't appear they're going to get very far here. So even the Pharah ult didn't work very well and was taken down before she was able to finish it. The Pioneers will try again to see if they get something, but Reinhardt's already down. And the only ults they have right now is the Diva ult and Lucio ult, which isn't going to really do a whole much. Especially when most of the Pioneers are already either dead or very low on health. And Central Washington's put up quite a defense. And we do see the Lucio shield coming out. But it doesn't appear to have done much, with most of the Pioneers going down. So Marietta's going to have to do something here to try to make some progress on this payload. They have 3 ults available, although most of Central Washington has their ults ready to go, so they didn't have to burn much to win that fight. So we do see the Diva ults exchanged, and see if that only doesn't catch too much. But right now it's a 2-for-1. And once again, the Pioneers will be stopped. We see the Shatters ready to go, but that's the only ult that the Pioneers have ready, and they only have 30 seconds to be able to at least continue contesting the payload to get to the first checkpoint. So with the Death Blossom coming out, but it doesn't really catch anyone, but they at least are on top of the payload. But now they're in overtime, and they got to contest this point, otherwise it's going to go to Central Washington. And the first round does go to Central Washington. They don't get the first map yet. They will swap sides.
Score 0-1. Switching sides.
But the Pioneers didn't get very far on that map.
Initiating match.
Hello? Anyone out there?
So we will wait for them to assemble the composition, the heroes that they want to use. So now what will happen is Central Washington will get a chance to capture the payload and try to escort it. And if they do get farther, then they're going to have a better advantage of winning the round. So we'll see how the Pioneers can defend the payload.
Ready for battle.
So we do see both sides still going with the GOATS composition. Do they have the same? It appears to have the same heroes.
I'm not paying you for your acting ability. Let's get moving.
And here we go with round 2. And we'll see how Marietta can defend against the assault here. So it looks like Central Washington's trying to go from behind to catch them. And there, everyone's all grouped up. There's a lot of exchanges back and forth, but no one's really gone down just yet. We do see a 1-for-1. Bring it from both sides is down. And we see the Shatter going down for Central Washington. And the Zenyatta ult to see if they can catch a couple more. So there's 2 down for the Pioneers. There's 3, and they are contesting the point now. Marietta's going to have to go in here and do something quickly, because Central Washington's already 2/3 of the way of capturing this. And they do capture the point. But Marietta's going to have to make a stop here because Central Washington was able to hold them off quite a bit. So Marietta's going to have to do a similar defense. In fact, we see that the yellow spot over there is pretty much all they have to do to get over there to win this. And we already see most of the Pioneers going down. So this could be a quick win for Central Washington. And they were able to pass the point farther than the Pioneers. So that does mean that game 1, map 1, will go to Central Washington. So that is game 1. So give us a second here as we get game 2 set up. So it is, remember, it is a best of 3. So Marietta can still come back and win the next 2 maps to win the whole thing. But Marietta's going to have to do a pretty good job with coordinating their ults. They're going to have to work on their positioning just because they weren't really able to put up much of a fight against Central Washington's defenses. So the next map will be Ilios. So we're just waiting for everyone to get things set up. As soon as everyone's ready, they are entering the game. We're just waiting for everyone to choose their heroes. So while we are waiting for this, just as a reminder, if you do want the latest updates of what's going on with Marietta College eSports, be sure to follow us in several different fronts. So we do have our Twitch channel here, so thank you for watching. So be sure to follow our channel if you haven't done so already. We also have our Facebook page, so facebook.com/Marietta College eSports, so you can follow us there. You can also follow us on our Twitter at Marietta eSports. We do have quite a few exciting matches coming for this semester for not only our Overwatch team, but also our League of Legends team, our Rocket League team. So it's a really good time for esports at Marietta College.
5, 4, 3, 2,
So we do see game 2 about to begin.
round 1. Capture the objective.
We do see the Pharah coming out. Try to see if you can put some damage from the sky. And we already see 2 for Central Washington down. So Marietta seems to be holding this spot pretty well. So they should be able to capture the point, and we'll see how long they're able to maintain that and try to see if they can keep up a good defense. So we do see Central Washington trying to contest this. We don't have any ults ready to go. Well, we do see the Pharah ult ready to go whenever needed. I don't expect that to happen anytime soon. And we do see the Pharah come out with a triple kill for Chucks. And it looks like their frigate fell? I couldn't tell. So far, Marietta is doing a pretty good job holding the line. And it looks like Central Washington's going to try to flank them from the side. And the Zenyatta out comes out to see if they can do a pretty good push and try to capture the, or at least try to catch the Pioneers off. But then Marietta uses their Zenyatta ult. And we see Pharah coming out again, but this time going down. So the ult there was not very effective. And it's looking like Central Washington's going to take this, and they are able to take the point. Marietta was able to at least get 74% of the points. So Marietta is going to have to work on trying to take the point back. But it looks like Central Washington is going to try to catch them off at their spawn point. And then they do start to fall back. We'll see how the Pioneers are going to be able to handle this and see if they can get through. They do have several ults ready to go with Diva, and Syrah, and Lucio's ready to go. So we'll see how they utilize their ults to be able to break through this defense. You see the rally coming out for Central Washington. and the Zenyatta ult. And most of the Pioneers are down. So Central Washington is holding up pretty well. Central Washington will fall back a little bit. And we do see Farah's ult ready to go, so we'll see when we get that Justice Reigns from above. And we do see the Diva Zyra ult coming out, but does not catch anyone. In fact, Central Washington's Reinhardt goes down. And we see the Pioneers trying to contest the point, and the Diva ult comes out to see if it catches anyone. It does not. So right now, Central Washington's at 88%, so Marietta's going to have to do something here to get this point back very soon. Otherwise, round 1 will go to Central Washington. So if this was the time to use their ults, this would be the time to do it. We're already in overtime. You see both Xenia ults coming out. You see the Zarya ult coming out. Let's see if anything comes out as a result of that. And most of the Pioneers are going down. So it's looking like... Well, Bear's still in the air. It's just keep... Right now, Chucks is the only reason why this game is still going. Just buying it, and yeah, just trying to buy the Pioneers a little bit more time to get back, but they do have to be at least close to contest this point. And we see the Wrecking Ball to see if that helps at all. So they are keeping this contested for quite some time. And Marietta is trying to push off Central Washington. And we see 2 for Central Washington going down. And Marietta will take the point back. They were able to keep it contested for, it felt like, minutes. So now Marietta needs to hold this if they're going to be able to take the point and take the round. But if they ever lose the point, then the round will go to Central Washington. And right now, Central Washington only has 1 ult ready. They might have 2 pretty soon. They just popped the rally, and their Zyra ult is ready to go, and the Diva ult. So now we're in overtime, and we see all the ults coming out. And 3 of the Pioneers are already down. Marietta will try to keep this contested, but see Mercy's going down, and Lucio. So it's looking like Central Washington's going to take the point and will end up taking the round. It's still overtime and they're still contesting. But now we do see everyone going down, and the first round does go to Central Washington. That was close. 99 to 100%. I mean, that doesn't get any closer than that. But unfortunately, the first round will go to Central Washington. So that does mean that Marietta has to take this next point if they're going to be able to continue on with this match. Otherwise, the entire match will go to Central Washington. We'll wait and see how Marietta will make adjustments. So we already see they're looking at the trace. For a second I thought they were going to tracer, but they bring the Zarya out.
3, 2, 1. Round 2. Capture the objective.
So it's do or die for the Pioneers with this match, or at least for this game. But Marietta has to be able to take this point if they're going to continue on. We already do see some skirmish in the middle. So we already see their Lucio go down. So 2 for Central Washington have gone down. So Marietta does claim the point for now. So we'll see if they can hold this. And they are doing a pretty good job with pushing back Central Washington. But they will need to go back to the point, because if they don't, if they leave it alone for too long, Central Washington may try to sneak around and try to catch her. We do see Central Washington trying to put in a push here. So let's see if the Pioneers can put up a good defense. The Shatter comes out. And both Reinhardts will go down. And we see the Zenyatta ult coming out. Transcendence. Both Transcendence come out. They're just exchanging ults back and forth. And most of the Central Washington's going down. So far, Marietta is doing a pretty good job holding. So we do see the Diva ult is ready to go. So when Central Washington makes another push, Pioneers will be ready with the Diva ult. But we do see that their Shatter is ready to go, so we'll see if they utilize it in this push. And we do see the Shatter coming out for Central Washington, and both Reinhardts get traded again, and already 3 others for the Pioneers are... Not sure they didn't trade Reinhardts, but they... Yeah, it does appear that Central Washington does capture the point for now. Although Mary did a pretty good push of getting it to 92%, but they are going to have to try to capture this point again if they're going to take the round. It looks like Mary's just waiting to group up before they push. Meanwhile, trying to poke damage back and forth. And we do see the Diva ult coming out, but that, and then there's the Zarya ult and the Diva ult. So 4 for the Pioneers have already gone down. That Diva ult that Marietta used was not very well done. So now it appears that Central Washington is trying to catch the Pioneers at their spawn point. Marietta's going to have to make a push here if they're going to take this point and win the round. So we'll just follow them. They go up to the roof, and we do see Zarya come out. Let's see how they combo that. Don't seem to really combo it with much. You see the Shatter and the Rally coming out. And the Lucio ult to get everyone with the sound barrier. And Marietta is starting to contest the point. But there's not much to help with that, so they're not able to do much to contest. In fact, most of the Pioneers have gone down. So this could be Marietta's last chance to take the point back. With the point already at 88%. So you see they're going for a push to contest. Because we are now in overtime. So it is do or die. They have to be able to take this point right here. We see that both Transcendents coming out. We see the Shatter just ults flying back and forth. But most of the Pioneers are going down. And it doesn't look like it's going to be enough. And they do kill all the members of the Pioneers, and that does mean that Central Washington does end up winning the map, which also means that they won 2 or 3 matches, 2 or 3 games. Therefore, they do end up winning the match. So while that is an awesome looking play of the game by Chucks, unfortunately, the first round, or the first match of today's game will go to Central Washington. Alright, so just to let everyone know how we're going to handle the scheduling for the rest of the day. So just like we did last week, we will take down the stream for a little bit. Our next match is going to be at 7 o'clock against Penn State York. So please be sure to come back for that. Grab yourselves a bite to eat or something. But we will get the stream up right before that so we can get you your next match. So thank you again and hope to see you in a little under an hour.